Good day everyone, I'm Micaela Grace Collado, your reporter of the day. So this topic is all about the geotechnical engineering. Actually, I have a specific topic which is about the history of geotechnical engineering, but I've decided to include the definition of geotechnical engineering before discussing or proceeding to the history of geotechnical engineering. So in this topic, like what I have said, first we will talk about the definition of geotechnical engineering. Then next, we will proceed to the history of geotechnical engineering, which is we will talk about when was geotechnical engineering created, when was it started, and who was the founder of geotechnical engineering. And in the end of this slide, we will discuss or I will explain the brief history of geotechnical engineering, which is nakapaloob na doon yung lahat or yung overall topic about history of geotechnical engineering. So now let's proceed. So what is geotechnical engineering? Geotechnical engineering, also known as geotechnics, is the branch of civil engineering concerned with the engineering behavior of earth materials. It uses principles of soil mechanics and rock mechanics for the solution of its respective engineering problems. Because we are talking about geotechnical engineering, so syempre, yung mga tao na naging bahagi ng geotechnical engineering is we call them geotechnical engineers. So geotechnical engineers, they are studying the soil as well as the rock layers that make up the earth in order to establish their physical and chemical characteristics. So, mga geotechnical engineers ang mga nagsta-study or gumagawa ng mga informations tungkol sa soil characteristics or sa rock characteristics para maging madali yung pag-co-construct ng mga building. So, importante kasi na ma-check yung capacity or yung characteristic ng soil before magpatayo ng isang building para ma-secure or ma-ensure kung safe ba talaga or kung matibay ba ang soil na ito para sa gusali. For example, sa 4-story building. So, kailangan talaga na i-check kasi iilang palapag din yun. So, we are done in explaining the geotechnical engineering. So, let's talk about the history of geotechnical engineering. Who founded geotechnical engineering? So, the founder of geotechnical engineering was Carl von Terzaghi. There is particular recognition given to Carl von Terzaghi, an Austrian mechanical engineer who is considered to be the father of modern geotechnics, having written a classic book on soil mechanics that was published in 1925. So, si Carl von Terzaghi, he was considered to be the father of modern geotechnics, but he was an Austrian mechanical engineer. So, he was a mechanical engineer, but he was considered to be the father of modern geotechnics because of his book about soil mechanics that was published in 1925. Then, dagdag na information, before his death in 1963, he bequeathed all his technical and scientific material to NGI. So, lahat ng material na sinulat ni Carl von Terzaghi about and scientific material about siguro sa geotechnics or soil mechanics is parang binigay niya or pinasa niya doon sa NGI. Next, when was geotechnical engineering created? So, modern geotechnical engineering began in 1925 with the publication of Mechanic by Carl Terzaghi. So, ang geotechnical engineering was created in the year 1925. So, generally recognized as the father of modern soil mechanics and geotechnical engineering. Yun nga, si Carl Terzaghi, yung recognized na father of modern soil mechanics and geotechnical engineering. So, Terzaghi's research and the settlement of clays and failure due to piping beneath dam was considered groundbreaking. For years, the art of geotechnical engineering was based on only past experiences through a succession of experimentation without any real characteristic. So, the understanding of geotechnical engineering as is known today began early in the 18th century. So, actually, ang understanding about the geotechnical engineering was began early in the 18th century. Next, when was geotechnical engineering started? The International Society for Soil Mechanics and Geotechnical Engineering is born. It is in the year 1936 that Terzaghi and colleagues from 20 other countries founded what it is now known as the International Society for Soil Mechanics and Geotechnical Engineering or ISSMGE. Kung na-create ang geotechnical engineering in the year 1925, which is in the early 18th century, it was started at 1936 in the early 20th century. So at 1936, the geotechnical engineering started. Next. So this is the brief history about geotechnical engineering. The history of geotechnical engineering is long and quite interesting. Our ancestors in the olden days used soil for an extensive variety of activities from building and creation of construction materials to irrigation and flood control. So, ang history ng ating geotechnical engineering is quite interesting daw. Kasi noong unang panahon, noong olden days, noong panahon pa ng mga ancestors natin, is they are using soil for an extensive variety para mag-create ng building or mag-create ng bahay, mag-create ng isang bagay. So, irrigation, yung daluyan ng tubig. And then, flood control, or para maging handa sa dadating na bagyo or anumang unos. So, however, the earliest applications were not very much advanced. So, noong dati, hindi gaanong advanced. It was simply related to flood control as well as irrigation, as exhibited by traces of dikes, dams, and canals that have been discovered in some parts of ancient Egypt, Greece, and other parts of the world dating back to not less than 2000 BCE. So, dati is merong mga nakikita na traces ng dikes, ng mga dams, ng mga canals, mga years ago na ata. So, mga matagal na yung mga canals siguro, yun yung mga ginagawa ng mga ancestors natin. In earliest sa geotechnical engineering, dati, siguro mga manual works, yung mga dams and dikes and canals, which is different from what we have right now in this present time, in modern time, and kung ano pa yung magagawa natin in the near future. So, that's all, everyone. Yun lang po yung about sa history ng geotechnical engineering. Thank you and God bless.